lately we have observed certain instances which is an offshoot of the kind of patients which have run out from amongst the youth who have been waiting for opportunities of employment. Today it is a fact that opportunities of employment within the state has been limited. Government has to be able to have the kind of resources to fund its revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure which revolves around your payment of salaries, payment of pension and other maintenance expenditure. Now where will this money come from? The money for government for all these purposes will come from different economic activities which will generate the kind of revenue resources that is required by the state. Now when we talk about the potentialities of the state, then we need to look at both the resources, the natural resources, and the potentialities of the people themselves, the human resources. Therefore, how we leverage upon these potentialities and funnel the ideas in the right perspective so that the revenue which is accrued to government exchequer is appropriately planned to create that kind of avenues of opportunities, both in the government sector and also in non-government sector. I have seen some of the youth who have looked at non-government sector, the private sector, as an opportunity for sustainable employment. We need to create that kind of avenue. There must be avenue that generates the hope amongst the youth. In absence of that, there will be migration. There will be migration not only in search of job. You see, there are two things that is happening. One is in search of access to higher and quality education because of the institutions that's available within our state not being able to cope with the surge in demand for admission. Now when we look at encouraging our youth, our children, and reduce the dropout, there will be demand for admission in higher education. But in absence of enough seats, or rather enough institutions coming up, what has happened? The youth have been compelled to go outside in search of access to higher and quality education. When the lockdown was enforced across the nation, what happened? We had to grapple to find ways and means to bring back our youth. And therefore the burden of creating those opportunities and solving this whole issue of demand for job and creating a sense of hope amongst the people, amongst the youth particularly. We realize that many of our youth are unnecessarily compelled to leave the state in search of technical education, professional education. We don't have an engineering college of the state government. That's why we embark upon initiatives. If an engineering college has been initiated in 2017-18 and still doesn't take off in 5 years, then God save Meghalaya. You see? Why are you not creating that kind of opportunities? And besides leveraging upon what has been initiated, the government of the day must also embark upon new initiatives. All of us who will determine as to what kind of the government that we want must think, interact and decide collectively by utilizing the wisdom and knowledge and enlightenment that God has vested upon us. Thank you.